Mekakucity Rewind contains both spoilers and profanity. Nice. So...
Nice.
Well, assuming we're live, because we're recording, hello everyone, welcome to episode 2. I'm here with our guest today, the one, the only, Yooms.
Hey, hello.
Thank you for joining me today, Yooms. As our audience can tell, I finally got a decent mic. It's pretty great. And Yooms here with their also really nice mic. Wow, we just really had a glow up since episode 1. It's pretty great.
Oh, we got some makeovers in here.
Yeah. But yeah, today we're going to talk about the famous or infamous Mekakucity Actors. Is that the correct pronunciation? Mekakucity Actors?
Mekakucity Actors. Mekaku-shitty Actors. That's actually the real pronunciation, but Mekaku-city works.
My inner Whitey is coming out. I can feel it.
Nah, don't say Mekaku-shitty. That's where all the jokes come from.
Oh! Man, that hurts. It hurts a lot. But it'd be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure that people can actually join the voice channel. I said like, oh yeah, they can connect to it. But let's see. Yeah, they can connect. They just can't speak because we live in a dictatorship.
Ah, I see. Where's one rule but you?
Yeah, that's me. But yes, as I said earlier, I refreshed my memory by rewatching a few episodes, say the first half. So where would you like to start in this broad discussion of the anime?
Well, first I would like to introduce myself just a little bit. So, yeah, I'm Yooms. I run another Kagerou Discord server, but I've been a fan of Kagerou since Children Record came out. Which is... when did
Old.
Children Record come up? Yeah, it's a very long time. It came out in 2013.
Oh, you're so old, dude.
Oh, I'm pretty old. And the first episode of Mekakucity Actors came out in April 12, 2014. So I've been a fan of Kagerou since before the anime came out. I was a fan while the anime came out, and I'm still a fan now. Yeah. And I guess I want to start with that. And I should also start off with my opinion on it, just so that we can get that out of the way. Because there's a lot of opinions on this anime. But my opinion is, I like it. I've liked Mekakucity Actors since I watched it the first time, and I'm rewatching it right now with my server, and I still like it. And I can explain why through this episode.
Yeah. I'll include the link to Yooms' said server in the description of this episode below. You should definitely join. It's a very nice server, very neat, very posh. Would recommend. It's nice and clean.
Aw, thank you. Your server is also very nice, posh, and clean.
Yooms, babe, please. Not while we're live, please. But yeah, the anime in itself, I remember watching it. I think I got into Kagerou around the time it was airing, except I didn't know it was a thing until well into the anime, because I was very new. I was kind of like wandering like a lost lamb, trying to figure out what was going on, and then, oh, there's an anime. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. One thing about the anime is that it is designed for first-time users, or first-time Kagerou fans. It's designed that way. Is it good as a first-time media for Kagerou fans? Absolutely not. It is
Yeah.
like, I admit, it is not good for first-time fans, because you will get fucking confused, but...
It did clear up a lot of stuff, but it only helps in context, like if you know what
definitely.
you're getting into. Yeah. I still enjoyed it though, even if I was confused. I remember after the ending, I needed to like just lay down for a bit and be like, bruh.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it was a good. Maybe I was just very influential, and who knows? But I remember it being a good time, because it was. What was your What are your thoughts on the whole aesthetic that it had? The whoosh, the wah.
Okay, so I didn't notice it the first time I was watching it. Second time I watched it, I really noticed. There's a lot of different camera angles and a lot of scenery changes and a lot of focus on scenery itself. And I tried thinking, why are they doing this? And two reasons is, well, Shaft, which we didn't really touch on yet, but we can. Shaft is the company that Mekakucity Actors was animated by, and it's popular for other anime such as Bakemonogatari and Madoka Magica. And they have a very, very distinct style of animation, and Mekakucity Actors is not an exception at all. Its style is a lot of scene changes, a lot of background shots, a lot of scenery shots, and a lot of head tilts. That's Shaft in general.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I a fan of this? No, not really. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of it in Madoka. That's the only Shaft anime I watched besides Mekakucity Actors. But I actually heard from a friend who's a big anime fan, and when I say a big anime fan, I mean she watches like all the animes.
Whoa.
Yeah, she says that Mekakucity Actors is actually heavily based off of Bakemonogatari series. Via the animation style and the aesthetic style, especially the way the characters talk to each other. The way they talk to each other is like they're really airy with each other. They like say stuff, and then there's like a 10-second pause, like as the scenery like changes like 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's apparently all Shaft.
That's
their
fair.
style. Yeah, and the second reason why these scenery changes keep happening, in my opinion, or this aesthetic, is because also the budget. Somehow it's cheaper to do this
Incredible.
than to animate everything thoroughly.
That's just their bread and butter, They're just so used to it.
Yeah, like, because a lot of the character shots, or a lot of the scenery shots, they would be stills. And when they do focus on a character, it's either the top of their head, just their lips, maybe even their foot, and some dialogue, and so they aren't animating them actually talking.
Yeah.
So that saves them money.
Oh, I guess that's the difference between us. When I watched it earlier today, because I didn't procrastinate on watching the anime at all. I personally, I'm a big fan of that aesthetic. When I watched Madoka, I was like, my eyes were nutting, dude, and so was I. I enjoyed the aesthetic a lot, but I guess it's because it helped with, say, like, the first scene where you see Shintaro and presumably his snake, Yaki, who again controls his powers, which is to recollect memories for the listeners out there. It helped, like, the very brief instances of seeing all the other members of the Dan, and again, their respective places, whether it be where they died, where they usually hang out, or just them in the base. It helps bring this sort of, like, awe or wonder or just a mystery over, like, again, what's his past? Oh man, who are all these people? But I understand how that would end up confusing people more than actually mystifying them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It's a very nice aesthetic, and I can see why you like it. I would like it more, I feel like, if it weren't for the fact that one of the biggest issues regarding MCA, I'm going to shorten to MCA now. Just
That's
heads up.
fair.
Yeah. One of the biggest issues regarding MCA is that people said the pacing was bad. They said that it's either too rushed or too slow, and never in between, which is actually true, and I believe it's actually these scene changes that contributed to that. But this could have been avoided with a solution that I'm actually going to talk about in one of the questions. If you want to, I don't know how you want to go with this podcast.
Oh, we're just taking it in stride, man. You can
I
go
see.
for it if you want.
Okay, yeah. Because one of the biggest issues regarding the anime, I feel like, is the fact that it's 12 episodes.
Right.
And this is something that a lot of people agree on. Kagerou Pro it's a lot to take in, and it's obvious that mashing all this content into 12 episodes was actually very difficult for both Shaft and Jin, because like I said before, they intended to make this anime for both first-time viewers or first-time fans and for old-time fans. So they're
Right.
trying to fit this literally the entire project into 12 episodes, along with all these aesthetic shots and some characterization shots, because there are a lot of scenes in the anime that characterize the characters that we have never seen before, like with scenes that we've never seen before, and they're trying to fit that all in. And I'm just going to bring up a question, if that's okay.
Yeah, be sure to mention who asked it. Yeah.
So this question is from Rochi-chan themselves. The question is, do you think extending the series for more than 12 episodes would have helped the anime or dragged the story out? So, like I said, the 12 episodes I feel like was not enough at all. 13 episodes maybe would have helped. But I think that the anime would have benefited the most out of roughly 16 to 20 episodes, which is not traditional at all, because anime comes in either 12s, 13s, or 24s, and so on and so on. That's how seasons work. Yeah, if it were 24 episodes, I could very easily see the opposite problem happening, with people feeling like it's extremely dragged out, because this outside the flashbacks in the future, Kagerou Project takes place over the span of 2 days.
Oh,
And
damn, you're right.
I think
dang.
a lot of people forget that.
I forget. I thought it was like a week or something, but no, it's just 2 days.
Nope, it's only August 14th and 15th.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah.
wild.
And usually August 14th happens really quickly. August 15th is where all the shit gets down.
Right, the juicy happenings.
Hydration.
Whoa! Hydrate or dihydrate, fellas.
So, I think but there's a lot of Kagerou that also focus on flashbacks. Like, I think there's a flashback in almost every single episode. So if the anime had more episodes, they definitely could have focused more on the present and the past, I feel like.
Yes.
It's
I
just,
agree.
yeah, I'm not an anime producer. I can't really outline the 24 episodes perfectly, and I don't feel like doing that.
To be honest, I feel like no matter, maybe this is just a hot take, perhaps. It maybe gets a bit spicy, but I feel like no matter what direction they went in it, the expectations were so high for a Kagerou Pro anime that people might not have been satisfied either way.
Oh, you are exactly right. You are exactly right. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with you because that is an entirely different issue. How the fandom expected their expectations for the anime before it occurred, when it occurred, and after. That's also a huge issue, or not an issue, but just something that happened. I feel like that affected the Kagerou Fandom tremendously.
Right,
And it is partially the reason why this fandom is so small today, is what I believe.
right. Yeah.
I mean, you want me to talk about it, or?
Yeah, I'm just sobbing, like, oh yeah, because it's true.
Yes.
I'm pouring one out for the fandom right now.
You're right. The expectations for this anime were tremendously high. Like, extremely high, because it's a Kagerou Pro anime. Like, the fandom was so excited. This was at the peak of Kagerou Pro. It was after Yobonashi Deceive came out, and I believe Lost Time Memory already came out.
Yes.
So these were after some of the best PVs came out, and everyone was so excited about Kagerou Pro. So they expected this anime to be great. Everyone did, and we were actually promised with great things from the promotion material, which will bring over Alex's question, if that's all right.
Yeah.
From Chibita Alex, or Alex, I love you. The question is, how do you think early marketing and promotional material of the series helped or didn't help newcomers to the series become interesting? Do you think anything could have done differently to promote the anime, or do you think it was fine as is? So, the promotional material for the anime was rather unique. I didn't see any other anime do this. But then again, I don't really... Mekakucity Actors was something that I followed very, 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 religiously because I fucking loved Kagerou Pro, and I still do. But, basically for the 10 weeks before the anime came out, every week they would release one character and their voice actor.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so we would find out who the voice actor was every week, and this was very exciting for a number of reasons. Because of course, when people think, oh, the series is getting getting an anime for the first time, what you think of is what the voice is going to be like.
Yeah.
And I think MCA did an amazing job promoting the anime through the voice actors. Yeah, because their voice acting choices were on point.
They really were.
Yeah, on point. The voice acting for Mekakucity Actors, you have to admit, it's like amazing.
It really was. And they had some really impressive voice actors too. Someone mentioned Miyano, the voice actor for Haruka, is the same one as Okabe from Steins Gate. Yes.
Miyano Mamoru, he also voices Riku from Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
Tamaki Suo from, these are big shot names. I forget Mary's voice actor's name, but she's also very famous in the Seiyu community.
Right.
Yeah, so they did a very good job promoting the anime because it caused the hype. It succeeded in causing the hype. And that was their main way of promoting the anime. Unfortunately, though, I feel like maybe they spent too much money on that.
Are probably not wrong, and that's the sad thing.
Yeah, they probably spent too much money on that. They probably spent too much money on the voice actors themselves.
Yeah.
Because I agree, though, if they wanted this anime to stand a chance at all, they had to get good voice actors, because otherwise the fans would have not been happy from the very start.
Right.
But so that's one way the anime met expectations, I guess. But the fandom, so they met the expectations for voice acting. However, there's still plenty more that an anime needs.
Right, like the visuals.
The actual anime.
Yeah.
And the music. So I feel like the anime was strong in the music and the voice acting. Obviously,
Yes,
the music, because Jin was in charge of it.
Bangers.
Banger.
Oh, right. This also is, I guess, related to Ready, Seto, Go's questions.
Hey!
What do you think was the anime's strongest point, and what do you think was its weakest point? Which you kind of just answered.
Yes. Sorry about that.
It's
I
all
didn't
good.
realize. Yeah, strongest point, I'll repeat, is the voice acting and the music, because
So
the music
good.
is so good. If you've never listened to Mekakucity M's, the album for the soundtrack of the anime, I definitely recommend you check it out.
Your ears will nut. It's so good.
It is amazing. Jen collaborated with a lot of different artists, and they all contributed to making the soundtrack what it is, and it's just amazing. And there's of course the covers of the songs throughout the anime. Those are great too.
They're so good. Man.
Yeah.
Which one would be your... Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. If you're asking... Well, I feel like your question was it...
Well, I was just wondering what your favorite song from Mekakucity M's is.
That's a great question. I really like Blindfold Code. But I also just I really appreciate all of them, really.
That's fair.
Yeah, all the anime versions are very great in my opinion, and the montages that come with them, or the animations, were very great.
Honestly,
But,
yes.
yeah, and for Ready Set Go's other question, what do you think the weakest point of the anime was? Like I said before, it was probably the pacing.
Right.
Being that it was all smashed into 12 episodes, I feel like it would have benefited a lot more from 12 episodes. And
You
the other week...
13, 16, 20 episodes? Sorry, you said 12 episodes again, so I was like...
Yeah, it would have benefited from more than 12 episodes.
There we go. It's okay.
Yeah, so at least... 13 I feel like wouldn't really do a difference.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's fair.
16, 20 would be nice. 24 would be possible only if Jen included the backstories of literally every single character and just smashed as much as he could into the show.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, if I could change one thing about the anime, I would love to increase the episode count. Yeah.
Cool. and then, they asked, do you think In a Days was an improvement from MCA? I personally can't answer this, because I have yet to see In a Days.
So, for those that are not aware, In a Days is the Kagerou movie. People don't know that Kagerou is a movie because it was announced rather subtly and then it was released rather subtly, and it was only released within a 4D theater in Japan because it was it's a 4D movie. Yes. And if you're not aware what 4D is, it's 3D plus your seats shake and sometimes spray water at you or something like that.
Hooray!
Yeah, it basically makes you feel like you're a part of the movie yourself. And I think the aesthetic that the movie was going for is that it's supposed to make you feel like you're a hostage with the Kagerou characters.
Oh.
Because this movie takes place only...
In a day?
Yes. It takes only within the terrorist attack, the infamous terrorist attack.
Great.
Do I think it's an improvement from from Mekakucity Actors? Absolutely not. It focuses only on the terrorist attack.
Really? I thought it'd be more, because, it's a movie, Like...
It's actually only like 40 minutes long, I think.
That's a long terrorist attack scene, but okay.
Yeah, it's not very long. Oh, can you hear my fan in the background, by the way? I turned it on.
No, not really.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we good.
Alright, it was... I mean, the animation's a little bit better.
Sorry?
The animation's a little bit better. It gives... right. Here's what I thought about In a Days. I think what Jin was trying to go with it was he really wanted us, to show off everyone's powers. Because that's what the terrorist scene is all about. That's literally the whole point of the terrorist scene. Is to demonstrate everyone's powers and them working together use their powers, because most likely they're not going to do it again.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
In a Days has some examples. For example, all the Mekaku-shitty for once are at the mall. This is this is unique to all the timelines.
Right.
So they all get to demonstrate their powers except for Hibiya, of course, who doesn't have his yet.
Oh yeah, because he has yet to Kermit with Hiyori. Good times.
Hiyori's even there. But so they in a Days they all use their powers very specifically. And it's different from in the anime. Like, for example, I'll just give Kano's example.
Right.
In a scene, the terrorists point their guns at Seto, who's the only one left at this point. So Kano uses his eye powers to pretend to be a terrorist, and he shouts at everyone that he spotted more intruders, and they all run away.
Huh.
Yeah, that's a unique scene, and I feel like Jin was just really just playing around with the eye powers at this point.
That's fair.
And that was literally the point of the anime. Like, they're like, hey, you have 40 minutes for this one thing. Here you go. And he's just like, oh shit. Who knows? I don't know what goes on in Jin's mind, so.
Dang. Well, that's very... It's a possibility, I'll give you that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. To be fair, while I'm glad he's had, this opportunity to explore more of the power's abilities, it is a shame that not a lot of people know about it, because I'm not even sure if there's even a translation for it, whether it be official or not. Is there?
There is not.
I see.
It only very recently came out on YouTube. You can find a non-translated version on YouTube if you search. It's, of course, not in... the title is not in English. In a Days might be. The words In a Days. But, yeah, I was only able to watch it because I understand basic Japanese.
Fair.
Yeah. But
Duolingo, please.
I'm sure that we have great fans here who understand multiple languages. I'm sure that one day subs will occur. Who knows? Maybe we'll try some. Maybe I'll ask some people to try something. Yeah,
because it'd be really nice. I know we have plenty of we used to have plenty of translators. We still have quite a few, but it's sad, as one might say. But
yeah,
maybe we can get something. As much as I would much rather purchase or listen to official translations, I don't really think that's gonna happen anytime soon within a Days. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't believe In a Days is gonna come out for English translation either, anytime soon. But I mean, I will admit, for everything that I will, sorry, I'm like losing words here. I will always say that to get into Kagerou Pro, you need to get into everything.
Yeah.
In a Days is a lower priority. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really into those eye powers, which I really wish he could explain, not just demonstrate, like, in a Days, but, like, go more into depth into.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he probably does, speaking from a writer's perspective. No,
Yeah.
he probably does. He just realizes that he can't.
You know, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
He doesn't want to word vomit.
That's very fair. Sometimes I wonder if, like, Jin just realizes he just, like, dug himself into a hole, but there's nothing he can do about it, so he's like, oh well.
That sounds like a writer.
Yeah, you know, I won't put that against him. So, Sho asked, the anime tends to be regarded as an overall mistake, but where do you think it all started to go downhill, if you think it even went downhill at all? What do you think could have been done to make it a better adaptation? Which I guess the second one was already answered. What you were, yes.
So you watched episodes 1 to 6 very recently. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Did you notice any sort of downhill trend?
Besides the fairly, I mean, from episodes 1 through 6, context for others, I watched the other 6, don't worry, it was just 4 years ago, so, you know, the knowledge is there. It's just, like, very recessive, it's in the back. I would say that it was fairly consistent as far as I can tell. I mean, the pacing, again, is all over the place. The tone of the anime is also all over the place. One second it's kooky, the other thing, oh no, they're dead. But, like, otherwise, the only thing that, I guess continuity went downhill, but that's, like, kind of to be expected.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I guess where continuity starts to go fall, if we're trying to find out exactly when, is, I mean, starting episode 2, to be honest.
Like, episode 1, you're like, yeah.
Shintaro, terrorist, yeah.
Cool.
And then episode 2, you're like, oh, new character I've never seen in my life.
Oh, cool, Momo. Oh, she's part of the dance. Oh, it's Kido. And then episode 3, oh yeah, Shintaro, he existed. I forgot about it.
Actually, Shintaro doesn't come back until episode 5.
Never mind.
Because
episode... They
episode
briefly
3.
look at him, though. They're like, oh yeah, that's
him.
your brother. I see a resemblance. I don't see the resemblance. Where's the resemblance?
They have the same eyes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's fair. But I mean, Kido has like similar. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, Kito's eyes match Shintaro's more, I admit. Okay, getting off topic. Yeah, so I agree with you in that sense of pacing. I can explain that a little bit more as well, as to why the pacing's like that. But to answer Sho's question, when do you think the anime started to go downhill? For me personally, I didn't notice a downhill trend at all.
Fair.
I've been watching every episode recently, and I've enjoyed each one. I did stop at episode 9 though because of scheduling reasons with my Discord server.
Right.
But honestly, I guess where people started to get very upset with the anime, when I noticed that people started to get very upset, this was from 4 years ago, or 5 years, 4 years ago, so I could be wrong, but they started getting very upset around Lost Time Memory, which is episode 8.
Did they say anything in particular that caught your eye, or?
Oh yes. Definitely. So, if you're wondering what happens in Lost Time Memory, it's, you can tell from the episode title, Shintaro activates his eye powers at the very end, but a lot of stuff happens throughout the episode that people were not happy with.
Fetus Shintaro.
Yes, Fetus Shintaro.
Sorry, did I throw you off guard? I'm so sorry.
Yes, you did. I'm also reading the summary for episode 8 just to make sure.
It's fair. But yeah,
And
lost time memory. Yay!
in my notes, I also wrote episode 7 in all caps. So I guess episode 7 was also very
Controversial.
and but basically I think in the episodes when the timeline really started to diverge and the anime started becoming unique, because before it followed the light novels almost to a T.
Right.
And I'll talk more about that later, but yeah, so the anime started branching off. It started having the characters doing different things that they never did before. For instance, they did not go to the amusement park this time, which disappointed a lot of people.
Really?
A lot of people were disappointed that they did not go to the amusement park like in the manga, because those scenes are fucking adorable.
Oh, that makes sense. I was like,
Yeah,
amusement
instead they visit Ayano's grave, which I think is like great, but people were not happy with that. People were also not happy with the episode 7 scene where Kano confronts Ene.
Oh yeah, I remember that jerk of the week video clip.
Yeah, exactly. The jerk of the week. He proved himself as that.
It's true. People
Yeah.
weren't happy with it. I mean,
People were very unhappy with it.
like with Kano as a character, or like with how they wrote out Kano's character.
How Jin wrote out Kano's character. They claimed that Jin was writing Kano out of character.
Ah, his own character. All right.
Yes, but so where was I? Just
You're talking about episode 7, where they visit Ayano's grave, and people
Yes.
were angry about Kano
Yes,
impersonating as Haruka. Yes.
yeah. So I think at this point, okay, wait. So, the anime really started to diverge from the novels around episode 5. I noted. After episode 5, that's when, and episode 5 and 6. That's when the anime starts really diverging, and that's when people started becoming less happy with the anime. I noticed, because again, the anime is only 12 episodes long. If you're gonna dedicate half the anime to a new timeline, then it's gonna be rushed. It's gonna be extremely rushed, and it's gonna make no sense, because you're gonna be hit with one major thing, you have no time to recover, and then you're gonna get hit with another major thing, which is exactly what happens in the later episodes.
So you're saying that they basically were on the novel route until they suddenly split off at episode 7 when they decided to go to Ayano's grave?
Yes, almost exactly. There are differences though, so I can get into that. I actually took notes on this.
Dude, you're so dedicated. I'm so proud. As for me, I just like plug in my mic and I'm like, let's go. But
Let's go. That's fine. I respect that too. I was just like really into the idea of this episode, so thank you for inviting me.
no problem. I just watched the anime barely, just like this morning, and I was like, yeah, I'm so prepped.
Yeah. So let me see if I'm talking. Yeah, so to answer Sho's question, I don't really think the anime went downhill, but the divergence from the novels was when I noticed that people started getting upset. And so, I believe that Jin expected old-time fans that watched the anime to thoroughly have read all the novels that came out beforehand. Like, this is my belief. He had good sales on his books at the time, and he had a pretty good fan base, especially in Japan. So I believe he expected that most of his Japanese fans who already knew Kagerou would watch the anime having already read the novels.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. Poor
And
Jin.
this is not the case for the Western fans, because we didn't have the novels back then.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, the novels were not translated until after the anime.
Really? I thought. No wonder we're so far behind. Okay, that makes more sense. Wow. Okay.
And so, and that's a huge problem, because that really changed the Western fandom's reaction to the anime. Now, here's the thing. I do not know the Japanese fandom's reaction to the anime at all.
Ah, okay.
So
yeah,
when I'm
we're
talking
pretty
about
biased.
fandom, I'm just talking about Western.
That's very fair. Which will also be covered in the next episode. Lamau.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Continue. Sorry.
It's good. Yeah, so, many English-speaking fans, they missed out the opportunity to read them, even though the first few episodes of the anime are based almost exactly off of them. There were fan translations at the time, but I read the fan translations a long time ago, admittedly, and I'm reading the current official translations right now, and I could see that Jin had a lot of fun with the official translations, I feel like. Because they're very colorful. The language in it is very interesting because the narrators are all first-person perspectives of different characters. And they are very talkative. They're so talkative. They will literally stop what they're doing and go on a page rant about something, like anything, and then they'll continue, as if nothing happened. And
Wow.
this obviously cannot be translated to the anime because these are inner thoughts, and you know, it would be great to see Shintaro go on like a 3-minute rant about Coca-Cola with all the visuals in the anime, and then watch Momo do the exact same thing, because Momo actually does that in the novels.
Oh my god. I mean, we would have drinking that up. I don't know.
Yeah, we would have loved it, but they didn't have the time for it. They didn't have the budget for it, and also it's a little bit awkward.
Just a bit. I mean, I don't know.
A little bit.
I go put up on it.
However, like, the thing is, so there's a lot of things in the novels that could not be put into the anime, especially through the characterization of the characters.
Right.
Because a lot of the characterization comes from the first-person perspective. Mm-hmm. So instead, Jin created a lot of little hints for novel readers.
Oh.
Like,
the 0% of the Western fandom. Yeah, we got that.
yes, exactly. I'm trying to think of specific examples right now. Like, it's very small ones, like extremely small ones. Like for what I said again, Momo drinking Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and the opening. I always wondered what that was about. I was like, okay, I guess.
She does it in the opening. She does it in Kisarage Tenshin. When she's like really frustrated, she comforts herself by drinking a can of Coke really quickly.
I remember that, and she throws it, and it hits her in the face. Yeah.
Because the thing is, Momo actually loves Coca-Cola as much as Shintaro. This is something that the fandom is in denial over.
Denial?
I think so. They think that her standard drink is red bean soup. Soda?
I think that's maybe it's just a misinterpretation. Like I think it's overlooked because I didn't know that. I could believe it, but I'm like, oh.
Her favorite drink is Coke. It's in the novels.
Whoa.
Yeah, and like it's like that small stuff. Kenjiro and Momo's interactions, like it seems like generally enjoys that, so he dedicated an entire scene to it in the anime. So.
Red bean flavored cola.
I would love to make an actual like analysis of listing of how the anime is very closely connected to the episodes until the divergence of the timelines, but at the moment there's too much to talk about, and also I don't remember everything off the top of my head.
That's fair.
But sorry, can I keep talking?
Oh no, it's okay. I was just like, I'm sorry, we just kind of went on a big tangent about first the novels, and then characterization, and then Momo.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I enjoyed it. I don't know much about Momo. I might have a Momo episode later, because I know I have a Mary one and the Kokonose one lined up very soon. But I just wondered, what do you think went through Jin's head when he decided to diverge into an entirely different route halfway through the anime series?
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Again, he expected all the old-time fans to already have read the novels.
Right, so they're pretty, like, just cruising along, recognizing, like, oh yeah, this is part of the novels, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But because of that, he also expected these fans to know the meta.
The meta.
He expected them to be fully caught up to the songs, the novels, the manga. And thus, they should already understand the whole concept of the timelines.
Right.
So what was going on in his head was, okay, this anime is a new timeline. I believe my fans already understand this, despite the fact that this anime seems to be very based off the novels.
Right.
So, time to make it very clear that's a new timeline now. Let's diverge.
And go to Ayano's grave, which was incredibly high-tech. I guess that's part of Shaft's aesthetic, where they have floating tombstones.
Yep.
that are like touchscreens almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was going through his head? I don't know.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm not, I think it's fine that he based off his novels, to be honest. I feel like because his novels are good. I like his novels a lot.
Same. I only own a few, but they're a delight to read.
But the reason why that clashed so badly with anime fans, I feel like, there's also the whole changing perspectives, which goes back to the pacing. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm just jumping everywhere in topics.
It's fair.
But basically, in the novels, every novel there's a different main character, and thus a different narrator, and that's why in the episodes, the anime episodes, the main character keeps changing. It's because of the novels.
Because he's used to writing for songs and novels, not necessarily episodes, I suppose. So that makes sense in translation.
And it's like kind of a very it's a very logical way of thinking. Like, oh, one song for each character, one song for each character, one arc for each character, one novel for each character, one episode for each character. Unfortunately, a novel one of the light novels can take like roughly an hour to read, depending on how fast you are, and he can pack a lot of content into it.
Right.
An anime episode's 23 minutes long, without the opening and ending. So, again, it's with pacing, smashing a good number of novels within a few number of episodes.
And there's just so much to cover. It's just, so going back to the point I made, no matter what Jin would have done, I feel the fans would have been disappointed no matter what, which is kind of sad. But
yes.
I guess it'd be like that.
Yes, and they were. They were very disappointed.
I mean, we were pretty on board again until you said the divergence, and then I'm sure the whole CGI in like episode 9 really threw us for a loop, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yes, I'm gonna apologize to Ready, Set, to Go. You asked what was the weakest point in the anime. You already know the answer. It was episode 10.
Oof.
I Am the Stereo of Happiness, the CG, and I believe that is 100% Shaft's fault. They did not budget correctly. The poor animators did not know what to do with themselves. I'm pretty sure the friggin' animation studio was on fire.
But like, hey, that Blu-ray though.
The Blu-ray, they made up with the Blu-ray, but
it's so good.
Let me actually tell you what happened with my Discord server though.
Okay.
We were watching episodes 8 through 10, and so we reached episode 10, I Know Stereo Happiness.
I thought that was episode 9, by the way, was it?
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's episode 9, my bad.
Okay, cool, just want to make sure.
Yeah, so we're watching episodes 7 through 9. On each channel, Stereo Happiness, my Discord members are like, oh no, wait, and I'm like, don't worry, I got you guys. So I start playing the YouTube version of it, the YouTube Blu-ray, which is beautiful. And then the moment we were done and we resumed watching the anime after the CG scene, like I skipped the CG scene,
right.
The Olive Rabbit crashed.
Really?
Yeah. So we couldn't continue, and we were like, oh god, the CG cursed us.
It's true. You tried to skimp out on it, and it came back for you.
We tried to skimp out on a living legend itself, and...
That's not how it goes. When you watch the anime, it's ride or die, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sorry, I just did not want to watch that again, because I have to admit, that was one of the most disappointing moments of the anime, right there.
I feel like for like the first 5 minutes while you're watching it, it's just straight up disbelief. Like, you know, our humor is very much saturated in irony nowadays. Like, oh no, maybe Jin was pulling a fast one on us, but no, Shaft did, and it was disappointing. But yeah, I feel like that really stoked the flames of the fans' disappointment with the series, because like you said, people were already disappointed with the divergence. I really don't think the rest of the episodes really helped with that.
Yeah, because the rest of the episodes focused on divergence.
Yeah.
And
so,
you just said.
You go.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so talkative.
It's okay.
What you just said about stoking the flames. That's the thing. So I am gonna throw some salt here, if that's okay. I'm not gonna
Feel free.
I'm not gonna drop names, but basically, what you just said. The Western fandom had a huge influence on itself. at the time.
Right.
Because that's how fandoms work. They talk to each other, and if opinion becomes popular, that's usually the opinion most people think of.
The word of God.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Despite the fact that I think that people start getting very happy with Mekakucity Actors starting episode like 8 to 10, whatever. People started making complaints as soon as episode 2 came out.
Oh.
And it continued every single week, and it escalated every single week.
Right.
This was something that I observed personally. And the reason for that was because some of the big people in the fandom at that time, some who are still in the fandom right now and some who are not, they were the ones who were making the complaints. And with their large fan bases, with the large number of followers, the followers just agreed to them.
Okay.
And basically mob mentality happened.
Okay.
And
sorry. Continue.
No, that's basically one reason why the Western fandom had such a negative reaction to the anime is because some people had more influence than others, and thus generally the general consensus was that the anime is bad for these reasons. And there are reasons that are listed that we already talked about, and reasons that couldn't really be solved, I guess, because again the novels hadn't come out by then.
Right, and the anime's already out, so there isn't really much that you can do about it.
Yeah, but still, these complaints were very escalated. They were up to the point where I literally saw no one defending the anime.
Yeah, I think it became like a very self-deprecating fandom afterwards. Like,
yes, exactly.
Word is out that like Mekakucity Actors is a shitty anime, and people aren't defending it. They're like, yeah. And then I remember, like, half after the anime ended, I'm pretty sure, like, at least half or even more than half the fan base just dropped the series, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. And, what I'm saying is basically, the fandom influenced itself to dislike the anime. That's my genuine opinion of what happened.
Right.
And thus, guys, be careful when you say that you don't like an anime.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I feel like even with the big name fans who are a lot more vocal, I'm sure that maybe their intention probably wasn't to like ruin the appearance, the approach towards the anime, but a lot of more people have more influence than they think. So I see what you mean.
I definitely believe you. They probably had zero intention of the fandom destroying itself inside out, because that's basically what happened. But that's what happened, unfortunately.
I agree. Great.
So fandoms do have influence on each other, or rather the fans each have influence on themselves, and I feel like this is more of a thing now that we have these Discord servers, because Discord servers weren't a thing back then.
You know, that's true. Wow, that's so weird. You're right.
I'm actually really thankful for the Discord servers, because it gives everyone their own voice. It's very hard to be shadowed, like, to be overshadowed in a Discord server, because literally everyone's just talking at the same time, and everyone's being read at the same time. And most likely you're gonna get a response, you know?
That's true. It also helps that, again, that the English fandom has more material to base it off of, because again, we didn't really have any knowledge, or again, like I mentioned last episode, we really didn't have anything to base our opinions off of other than what we were given, which wasn't very much at first. So I'm glad that the novels have come out and more official translations are coming out, because I'm sure that really helps round out our opinions a lot more.
Yes, now we know the meta better, and because of that, I feel that now is the time to appreciate Mekakucity Actors more. It was very hard to back in 2014, I admit.
Right, it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, it literally was ahead of its time, but if you can swallow, like, decent, not so decent animation, because I also admit that animation of Mekakucity Actors is not the best.
Yeah.
But if you can swallow it,
it's definitely worth a rewatch after all this time, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Especially if you read the novels.
Yooms, check out the question. Show asked one, and I feel like you're more well-versed in this than I am.
The first used reveal of Shintaro's eye ability was in anime. Do you think that was a bad call? How would you preferred its reveal? Oh, right. So, that's one of the... Oh god, my voice. Cut that out, please.
Okay.
I'm currently I'm currently on HRT, so my voice is just like all over the place.
Dang. Alright, sorry, could you reread the question? I'm not sure if like the listeners could have heard it.
Yeah, I mumbled it, sorry.
It's all good.
Sho asked a new question. If I remember correctly, the first use/reveal of Shintaro's eye ability was in the anime. Do you think that was a bad call? How would you have preferred its reveal? Okay, yeah, so that was the biggest reveal in the anime, and one of the biggest, like, meta-changing moments.
Mm-hmm.
Shintaro's eye ability, it revealed that he had one all along, and that he had it since before he was born in most timelines.
Yeah.
And it explains lost time memory a lot better.
Yeah.
Do I think it was a bad call? No. I really liked that reveal, to be honest.
It made more sense, yeah.
And I did like how it connected all the media in the Kagerou Pro. I understand though why people wouldn't like it though, because first off, while Jin did intend the anime for veteran like fans, he also intended it for new fans.
Right.
Yeah, like it's very obvious that he wrote it in a way for new fans to get into the series. And I think maybe he was thinking, okay, by episode 8, maybe they read some of the novels by now.
Oh my god.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
If this is true, Jin, babe, I'm so sorry, Jin.
Yeah,
Please.
if this is true, I am so fucking sorry.
Jin. Oh, Sho did though. Sho
did?
real MVP.
Oh, you are a real MVP. Holy crap. Because...
I know, I didn't.
Yeah, I sure did not. But, like, at the same time, first-time viewers, that scene must have been so confusing. Like... It must have been like absolutely like just like wait what, like I can't imagine what Mekakucity Actors is like for someone who has zero Kagerou Pro context.
Fida Shintaro.
I literally can't imagine. Oh yeah, and Fida Shintaro, I admit, was a mistake.
I mean, it was a good way to get it across that he had it before he was born.
Yes.
But I'm not sure how. I don't know. There could have been a better way to go about it than showing him in the womb.
It's just like I'm like trying to like freak out over Shintaro having an eye power, and everyone's just screaming
Fida Shintaro. Well, yeah, the welcome to my womb. Okay, for what all the bad that the fandom did, you gotta appreciate the memes. The memes. The memes. Those were classic.
Yes, they are good.
I remember the Abridged series. That was very impressive almost. I was like, wow.
I actually never watched the Bridge series.
You're so valid.
Thank you.
Well, but, I mean, they were made fresh after the series came out, so like watching it now would probably be a lot more different and a lot less saltier than it was then, you know, like from a new perspective, having put 3 to 4 years of distance behind us. I feel like we're able to appreciate it in a much more sympathetic light than everyone else did. Because again, a lot of people dropped off from the series. They're like, I'm good after all that. But they've recently, a lot of people have made a comeback with the new songs that are coming out, which is very cool, IMO. Which is why I'm starting to try to reach out to old fans and see what they think, because it's really nice. But yeah, Days, I'm so glad that was the opening. The opening was so good!
Yeah, like I said before, the music is also one of the strongest points in the anime, and Days and Days.
You're right!
They're
so
both
fitting.
So good.
They really are. The songs were perfect. Again, as we said, voice acting, god tier. I still don't know how they were able to afford all of those voice actors, but again, that explains where the rest of the budget went. Lamau.
And let's not forget that Jin somehow became best friends with Garden Dahlia. Is that her name?
Oh, they became best friends afterwards? Or
oh yeah,
beforehand?
dude, they're like collaborating together. Like.
Oh my god.
right now, aren't they? Like, aren't they in a band together?
Are they? I'm sorry, I'm not a Jin stan.
I'm not a Jin stan.
I just follow him and like all his tweets that I can't understand. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure like they're still working together, and they did. I mean, she did a multiple song covers for MCA.
Oh yeah, I thought she just had the big bucks back then, you know? And then that's when then we talked about earlier in the server that like during Mekakucity Actors was when Jin was homeless, I believe?
Oh yes.
That was during the anime?
It was roughly around the time of the anime, or right after the anime came out.
That's so sad. I mean, I really hope Jin didn't see the Western response to his anime, because that would have been depressing.
Yes, I really hope so too. Because
again, like,
this was after, yeah, a lot of people did blame Jin for the anime.
right.
And their problems with the anime, which I guess makes sense, because, like I talked about in this episode, most of it actually was his intention. Besides, the stuff that he did not have control over was the art and the fact that it was only 12 episodes.
Right.
But in terms of writing, he did plan most of it.
I guess it's just unfortunate, but I will admit, we gave it a go, right? Like, we tried. Not us, but they tried, and I can
Yes.
appreciate that.
They tried. It was a good attempt, and it was actually not just an attempt. It was an anime.
Yeah,
it came
the fact
out.
that we were able to see the characters walk and talk, I think that was pretty Gucci. Something
Yeah,
that we took for granted.
I was a very big fan of the fact that Shintaro breathes.
You know? Yeah.
Like, the fact that he has a voice and the voice is perfect for him, like, that made me so happy that I thought, like, oh, like, this anime already reached peak tier. Like, before it came out, I was like, yo, this is already, like, one of my favorite animes.
He moves. He's perfect. I can't believe
Perfect, yeah.
it. But, yeah, do you remember, like, they released the official designs, right? For all the characters. And then was it Shaft who continued to reproduce the same poses and designs over and over again on various different merchandise, or was that someone else?
Nope, that was Shaft.
Oh, Shaft.
I would know because I own various reproductions of that pose.
Oh my god. The one where he's sitting and looking off to the side of his hand.
Yeah. And he's like trying to look so cool. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. It's so infamous. I see it everywhere I go. It's true. Yeah, I wonder, did they just not have enough money, more artwork to...
I think they were trying to milk Kagerou as much as possible.
I mean, Yooms, you supported this. I don't know what to tell you about it.
I wanted to give Jin my money in any way I could.
Yeah, I mean, you gave it to Shaft, but it's okay, you know? Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, he had a contract with them. I was just like, somehow, maybe he'll get a penny out of this.
yeah. I don't want to... That's why I don't really want to buy, I guess, like... I like to buy fan art stuff, but if possible, giving my money to Jin... Yeah. I'll
Best way,
gladly do
buy
it.
his albums.
You know, you're right. Mekakucity Reload is going to come out in a bit as well, which is going to be great. People got pre-orders. I did not. I'm still hoping I can buy it digitally, but I'm waiting for my paycheck. Heck yeah.
I believe in you, bro.
Did you pre-order it or anything?
Yes, I don't remember which version I pre-ordered,
That's fair.
but I
yeah.
did pre-order one version.
That's very fair. That's why I want these first few episodes to cover more on old things, like things in the past, because I know that Reload may or may not turn everything upside down, like literally additional memory. That's literally a lyric in it. Wow, I'm so smart, so savvy. But I don't want to cover too much of meta, because again, everything could change with just one single album, and I'm
That's
looking
true.
forward to it. I want more
Yes.
depth.
Speaking of, are you gonna host an episode on the other Mekakucity Reload?
The other Mekakucity Reload? The other one?
The anime, yes.
Yes. Okay. Ruth was talking about that earlier. I'm like, why would they name it the same thing? That's so confusing.
Yes, it's very confusing.
The anime has it already come out?
Nope.
I don't think it has. But
Yeah.
we saw the designs for it, right? Or was that for Enna Days?
That was only for Inna Days.
Have we seen anything of it?
Nope.
Oh, I'm not sure what to tell you then.
Okay. It's just, I feel like maybe, I don't know, we could talk a little bit about it, just 'cause. Why not?
Okay, what do you know about it, Yooms? Because clearly I don't know anything about it.
Oh, I don't know anything about it besides the fact that it's a thing.
You know, when was it announced? Wasn't it like a while ago? Or...
Quite a while ago, I believe, like 2000, maybe 16 or 17.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was indeed a fat while ago, as show says.
Yeah, so we know literally nothing about it. We do not know what company will take it. We don't know how much, how like its budget or how many episodes.
Or if it's even still a thing.
Yes, I believe Jin did reassure some fans that it's still a thing.
Okay,
a year
maybe.
ago.
Yeah. I'm
year
sure
ago,
like
but yeah.
studios are kind of scared to pick it up after the response to. I mean, I wouldn't blame them, you know, but I'm sure the Japanese fandom appreciated it a lot more than we did. So hopefully it won't be as stigmatized. It won't have as much of a negative stigma, which is what I'm hoping. Show said that the fandom just like picked up the eye ability, like, oh yeah, Shintaro had an eye ability, and then moved on, something like that. Which, God, I wish that were us. But then again, those were different times. I guess we'll cover more about how the anime impacted the fandom in the next episode with Rochi-chan, which I'm looking forward to. Is there anything you'd like to end this episode with in regards to the anime?
Yes, so basically, try giving it a rewatch. Definitely. I'm almost done hosting my first rewatch event with my Discord server, but I definitely recommend that more people try it on their own or maybe with friends, because it actually is a lot of fun watching the anime with friends because you get to scream about the characters being cute and stuff.
It's true. Mary is so cute. I always forget.
She's so
I know
cute.
she's cute, but she's always cuter than I remember.
Yeah, and especially if you have read the novels or can read the novels, read them and then try the anime out. That's my advice to you.
Official translations and support Jin so he doesn't live on the streets. Yeah.
Yeah.